Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So we're back with a Vayne commentary guide, but this video isn't really going to be focused on Vayne. It's going to be focused on two things. Firstly is how Giant Slayer is completely busted on certain champions, that is. Gotta preface that. And secondly, how you cannot blind pick Samira. If not, you will get destroyed. So we're first going to talk about the Giant Slayer, then we'll talk about Samira. So first up, Giant Slayer. Who takes Giant Slayer? Now I think majority of top lane like tanks or bruisers can take it because they basically choose between Giant Slayer and Triumph. Most ADCs will not be able to take Giant Slayer because they really need Hunter Vampirism for that lifesteal, because most ADCs go for like full crit builds like Storm Razor, IE, Rapid Fire Cannon. Those builds don't have any form of lifesteal, and you normally go for Boots of Fury, so you don't get the Gluttonous Greed. So you really need to get Hunter Vampirism for that. But one of the few ADCs that can go for it is Vayne, because Vayne goes for Blade of the Rune King, which already gives her lifesteal, and she can also build like Bloodthirster if she wants to later on in the build. But in this game I went for Blade of the Rune King and Wit's End. Now this basically allows me to have two forms of lifesteal in terms of my items on my first two items. So this actually allows me to get Giant Slayer. So anyways, here we almost killed the Samira, but her W manages to block my auto attack. Here we almost killed the Scion as well, but I end up tanking a tower shot and the minions actually end up killing me, which is really unfortunate, so I get first blooded. Samira goes in for Nami and gets a double kill. Now that's really unlucky. But yeah, back to the discussion. So because I have two forms of lifesteal already, I don't necessarily need the Hunter Vampirism as much, and Vayne of course already shreds tanks. So with the Giant Slayer in this particular match, I will be able to shred the Scion and the Nasus both with my passive and with the Giant Slayer. And later on, Master Yi also builds a Black Cleaver, so I will be able to also focus Master Yi and get extra damage onto Master Yi. Of course, Akali and Samira don't actually build health, so it doesn't really help all that much. Actually, I'm not sure if Akali like in the late game goes for like Oblivion Orb. Actually no, Akali goes for Oblivion Orb, so she does actually have bonus health. And if she goes for like Morelos in the late game, then I actually will shred Akali as well. So that's an even added extra benefit. Alright, so anyways, now we're gonna next talk about why you can't blind pick Samira. So the reason why you can't blind pick Samira is basically because she is basically a ADC version of Katarina. But she's even worse than Katarina because basically your main form of damage is from your ultimate. So if you can't ult, or if your ult gets interrupted, you're basically more or less useless. And that's really the problem with Samira. So if you take a look at my team, how many disrupts do we have against Samira's ultimate? We have Vayne point and click Condemn, we have Rammus point and click Taunt, we have Lulu point and click Polymorph, and we have the Lulu knockup as well, which is pretty huge area. And if all of that doesn't work, we still have Nami Wave and Nami Bubble, which is quite easy to hit on Samira when she's in the ult because she's slow. Although Nami is probably the least reliable form of interrupt on Samira, but having Lulu, Vayne, and Rammus is three forms of point and click interrupt on Samira. So basically, this guy T1 Marin, he blind picked Samira at the beginning, and basically he's screwed. He's gonna be useless this game. So here Rammus comes in for a gank. We get an easy free kill onto Scion. Unfortunately, he fears me into the tower, which is really bad. And I get the heal, I flash out, I get the heal from Nami, and I'm able to actually just manually just run out. Unfortunately for my team, Rammus and Nami does die, so that's really unlucky. But back to my point, I used to actually blind pick Samira because I thought she was completely busted, completely OP. Now that is true, she's completely busted, but only if you pick her into the correct team comp. Literally, I've been on the opposite side of this where I was playing against, like, for example, like a Xin Zhao, a Lulu, all that kind of things. It's impossible to play against because the moment you ult, you're gonna get condemned, you're gonna get taunted, you're gonna get polymorphed. You basically cannot play the game. So Samira in this match is completely useless. I'm not worried about Samira at all. If Samira gets fed, she's 2-0-2 now, she's kind of getting fed. If she gets fed, honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm way more worried about Akali and Master Yi because if they get fed, they're a lot harder to deal with because they're very slippery, and if like everybody gets fed, we may not have enough CC to go around Samira, Master Yi, and Akali. So that's what I'm more worried about. But we have a way better late game, and then we have Kayle scaling, we have Vayne scaling, and then we have like Lulu, which is going AD, by the way. So just a small backstory was that I actually hovered Samira because I didn't want it to be banned. But I was actually first pick, and I actually didn't pick Samira. I swapped down to fourth pick, and the Lulu got really pissed off because he wanted to ban Samira but didn't because I hovered it. And I was just explaining that you can't blind pick Samira, if not you will just be inting your team basically, which is basically what the enemy Samira did. Because now she has the Samira pick, which is OP. But how is she going to play Samira into a Vayne, Rammus, and Lulu? You simply can't do that. So the Samira pick is basically inting in this particular matchup. So anyway, Lulu doesn't actually understand that concept, so she still thinks that I'm inting the game away. So she decided to troll and pick Lulu mid and build a AD. So here, as you guys can see, the Rammus taunt into the Vayne condemn onto Samira. She dies instantly. I have my ult on. I can easily chase down Sion for the kill. There we go, kill on Sion. Really easy, really simple. So yeah, she actually kind of ends the game by picking like Lulu mid, and the moment the game started, not sure if you guys saw that at the very start of the video, she instantly flashed in the fountain. So she obviously was very, very pissed off about the situation. I muted her right at the beginning of the game, so I have no idea what she was talking about, but I think that she was flaming me the whole game because I was duo with the Nami, and Nami was telling me that she was basically flaming me the whole game, but hey, you know, you can't see anything if they're muted. So here Samira walks up to me at the wall, so here I basically just condemn her into the wall. We trade flash for flash. Rammus runs straight into the Akali pretty much by accident. And a fight breaks out because of course the dragon is here. Lulu is actually coming in from behind, not really the best position for her because she's pretty squishy. So here I'm waiting for the Grievous Wounds to expire. I pick up the fruits. Samira tries to go in. And pretty much we're just in a battle of attrition. A little bit of poke here, a little bit of auto attacks here. Rammus wants to channel the recall, but he can't actually do that because that will give the enemy team a free dragon. The ult from Nami goes in. I condemn Sion into the wall and pick up a free pick onto Sion. Sion passive comes in. Samira comes in as well. The whole enemy team comes in. Akali comes in, hits the shuriken, and I die. If I dodged that shuriken, I would have been fine, but I did not, so I am in trouble. Akali picks up a triple, and the polymorph into Q actually manages to pick up a 975 gold shutdown for the semi-trolling Lulu. So, anyways, basically the whole fight has reset because a lot of members of both teams died. So no one is really quite able to actually pick up the dragon in this scenario. So basically everybody is like respawning, I'm respawning, we're all gonna head back over to the dragon. So here Master Yi is actually recalling, so this seems like a really good opportunity for us to do the dragon, but unfortunately the Rammus goes to mid lane instead for some reason, and we can't actually really do the dragon without our jungler there. So now Rammus decides to go for the Rift Herald instead, and at this point in time of the game, it's already 8 minutes, the Rift Herald doesn't really have a lot of value because it can't actually pick up plates anymore. So going for dragon is a way better idea. Unfortunately, Master Yi had the same idea. So basically now instead of having a dragon fight, we're having a Rift Herald fight because Master Yi and Rammus are fighting at the Rift Herald. And now both teams are forced to rotate over to help out their junglers. Rammus goes for the gank on the Nasus instead to try to help Kayle out. Nasus ends up getting a double kill on them both. But meanwhile in the mid lane, we're actually engaging onto both of them. I get the kill onto Sion. I get actually terrified by him again, and because of that I actually end up dying on the tower. If not, I would have been fine. Now, I think it's actually the fear of Sion's passive is really underrated. I definitely underestimated it like twice in this game already. That CC when he reanimates is pretty nasty, so I really gotta watch out for that. So now, at the end of the day, both objectives are now still up. The dragon is still there, the Rift Herald is still there, and no one has picked anything up yet, and it's already like 9 minutes into the game. Master Yi picks up the Rift Herald about 9 minutes into the game, and the dragon is still up. So here, Rammus is kind of like in a 1v1 with Master Yi. Sion comes in, but Nami, Lulu, and I are all on the way as well. So it looks like a fight is about to break out. Nice interrupt by the Rammus. Here I'm just blasting the Sion. Of course with the Giant Slayer and with my passive, I can shred him really, really easily. Not going near him so that I don't get hit by his passive. Here I'm using him to free stack my Lethal Tempo. So now I have a full stack Lethal Tempo. I can exhaust the Samira, easily get the kill on her. I condemn the Master Yi away, allowing me to get the easy kill on him. Now this gives us both a free mid lane tower as well as a free dragon. In the meantime, Kayle is still busy getting destroyed by the Nasus. Nasus now unstoppable, stomping the Kayle completely, which I have no idea how that happened. when Kill is ranged and Nasus is melee, so she should be having a really easy time just farming. Nasus should be just stacking, but I have no idea why Kill is getting her face punched in by the Nasus so hard. But yeah, we are able to get the dragon, get the mid lane tower, and we are all now going to rotate for bot lane tower. So 4-man tower take on the bot lane. Rammus tanks a couple tower shots for us, but we are able to pick up that tower. So overall helps us to close the goal gap by just a little bit. I'm able to pick up both the Wit's End as well as the Bork. Of course, because Akali is fed, she's 8-1. The Wit's End is going to be really helpful in this particular matchup, as well as, of course, for the lifesteal, as I mentioned, allowing me to opt into the Giant Slayer. Now, because Rammus doesn't really benefit from Red buff all that much, and pretty much I'm the best Red buff user in the team at the moment, because Kill is 0, 4, and 0, so I'm just going to pick up the Red buff. Personally, I'm 7 and 3, not too bad. Could be better, but not too bad. Alright, so here we go in on the Master Yi. I actually end up melee ranging on Master Yi, which is pretty bad. He ends up dying to Nami, but I end up dying to Akali because basically the whole enemy team came in for the collapse. Everything falls apart. And yeah, so you will see, I'm sure that you guys are already seeing actually that this is gonna be a very interesting game. We're 11 minutes into the game and it's really even so far. Like, our team is winning fights, then we lose fights, then we win fights, then we lose fights. So it's one of the most like back and forth games I've had in recent memory. So it's a really fun game. Of course, it's more fun the fact that if we win the game. Of course, if we lose the game, it's gonna be a lot less fun. So yeah, but it is still a really back and forth game. It's kind of competitive game that you kind of love in the moment. At least for me, like I think games that you're getting stomped or it's too stompy, it's not really the most fun. Like, of course, if you're stomping, you're gonna just take a free win. You're not gonna complain about that, but it's definitely not as fun as when the game is like even. So anyways, here in the downtime, I'm of course going to just pick up some jungle farm. Picking up the wolves, as you guys can see. And yeah, so now for our build, as you guys can see, we have the Wit's End Bork, and we're actually going to go Stormrazor next. But before we go into Stormrazor, we actually have a fight in mid, where we are able to actually pick up a kill, I believe, onto Master Yi. And we're on the chase for a Scion with the ult on. It's a pretty easy chase for a Scion. Again, gonna move away from him so we don't get feared by the Scion. Akali manages to actually escape, and she still has a really huge shutdown, so we really want to get the kill onto Akali. Alright, so here, Nasus is really overextended. Here's where I make a mistake. I actually end up going the long way around through our jungle, but I should have followed Nami through the river. Because as you guys can see, Nami is in position to cut off the Nasus, but I am not. Because I thought that the Nasus would stick around longer, which honestly he would have, but it's kind of like a miscommunication. Because basically if Rammus waited for us and didn't just roll in, we would have been able to cut him off very easily, but he went in way too early without us, and yeah, it didn't quite work out. So here I'm able to basically just free fire onto the Nasus and just get a free kill onto him. Here Akali goes in and tries to ult out. She still has her huge shutdown, so I'm really interested in just getting there and getting the shutdown onto Akali. Unfortunately, Kale gets the kill on Akali, and Kale is really useless at the moment. And now Master Yi is like 1 HP for the longest time, gets a triple and then a quadra at 1 HP. So really kind of unfortunate there. It must be like the Death's Dance. Actually, he doesn't even have Death's Dance. He's actually the same combo as me. He has the Bork plus Wit's End combo, which gives him so much lifesteal when he's at low health that he pretty much manages to survive. And honestly, at this point, I thought we might have just lost the game right here. But thankfully, Lulu has respawned, and aside from flashing at the beginning and picking Lulu mid, she hasn't actually really trolled the game. So here, she's trying her best to actually save the game for our team. Rammus comes on in, taunts the Scion, and we are able to pick up the kill onto the Scion. So a free pick for us. Rammus, I'm not too sure where he's going. Runs straight into Akali and Master Yi. Pretty much means that he's gonna be dead here. Yeah, there we go. The kill comes through onto the Rammus. Kind of trolling there. I'm able to clear out the bot lane wave. Then I'm gonna clear out this ward and pick up the red buff again. And yeah, so the dragon is spawning really soon, and our jungler is dead. So we are probably gonna have to just give up this dragon if the enemy team goes for it. but doesn't appear that they're really in the area yet. Ram is still like 15 seconds away from respawning. So while we are like kind of waiting for something to happen, we're just gonna clear waves. We're just gonna like pick up farm. You know, so here nothing too much is going on. We see Master Yi at the blue buff area walking toward the dragon, but we see Samira in mid. So we are relatively certain that they're not on the dragon, at least not right now. So here Rammus has respawned, he's rolling his way in. Looks like the entire enemy team is rotating to the dragon, so they should have started it, but we don't know what's the progress. So we do get a ward into the dragon pit. Turns out it's still at like 5k health. So we're gonna see what we can do about it. Here I actually ult and free fire onto Sion, nearly get the kill on Sion. I flash into the pit. Master Yi still manages to secure it. I'm trying to focus Master Yi, but I end up turning around going for Akali instead. Rolling away from Master Yi. I get Kill gets the kill on Master Yi, unfortunately, and I get the kill on Sion. So Kill getting 2 huge shutdowns already should be enough to get her back into the game. Of course, I would really like those shutdowns instead, because I'm the one carrying at the moment, and Kill is pretty much just feeding. But you know, if she gets enough kills and gets to late game with, you know, multiple items and level 15, she's gonna be able to carry the game as well. She's already level 14 with 2 items, so not too bad. But here we pretty much get a free Baron, which somehow the Kale and the Lulu is kind of trolling by going mid and fighting Nasus for no good reason. So we do get the free Baron, but Lulu dies to Nasus, and yeah, I have no idea what they're doing there. Completely troll. But yeah, so we're gonna back. We pick up Stormrazor. Next we're going for IE, and then after that we're actually going for we might need to go for GA this match, despite it, you know, being so expensive now in the latest patch. But because we do have like Master Yi, and we do have like Akali that can kill us really easily, we might have no choice but to go for the GA. Something to point out is that this game was played in the previous patch, which is patch 3.3b, not 3.3c, so the price of GA hasn't actually gone up yet, full disclosure, but I'm just discussing as if this was in patch 3.3c. So here I spot Master Yi and Akali going in. I know I can get the Condemn into the wall. There we go, Condemn into Master Yi, easy kill. And here we're going to see if we can chase Akali. Not the case. Rammus goes in on the enemy bot lane. I'm going to free fire onto the Sion, shredding him by a whole lot. And yeah, so here, trying to get the auto onto Samira doesn't quite work out. We're able to get the tower kill. Sion charges up his Q, which is a bad idea because I can get a couple free shots in on him. Rammus pinging for a bot lane, but that doesn't actually really make sense. I follow him until I realize it doesn't actually make sense. I'm going back to mid lane. Nice knock up by the Lulu onto the Akali, and Akali is dead. Sion tries to charge his Q again. I free fire so many shots on him while he's charging the Q, which allows me to get a free kill on him. I'm next going to focus the mid lane tower, of course. And only Nasus and Samira are left to defend. Master Yi is about to respawn, so we gotta be really cautious. I'm gonna just free fire onto Nasus because I can kill him really easily. Samira tries to go in for no apparent reason, dies. Master Yi is now caught in a 1v5. Obviously that's not gonna work out for him, so he dies. And somehow after a really big back and forth game, we actually managed to pull out the dub. So anyways guys, hopefully this video showed you guys why number 1, Giant Slayer is OP, and number 2, why you cannot blind pick Samira, because Samira is useless. Just look at Samira's stats. So as I say, I'll leave you guys with the stats as usual. So thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.